good love to have, but you done you made me. You done made me mad. You're always looking for love or someone new, and someone to love, someone like you. And I walked out the door, 'cause memories and past, it sure didn't last. So how can you expect to take all my time when I know you're gonna leave me right down the line? Mama, blow up my phone. Been a while since I come home. If we're ever gonna do it again, gonna hack it like as if we're friends. Oh. Don't you go and leave me. Don't you go and leave me. Girl, you better believe me, baby. 'Cause no matter how you play the game, every move you make's the same. And no matter which man you choose, baby girl, you're always gonna sing the blues. So don't you go and leave me. I'll just end up grieving. Gonna hack us act as if we're friends. Up. Thank you. You said you were homeward bound, and part of you was still left on the ground. I wondered too what happens when up goes down. A trademark tune I consciously wound around my finger, and so we sat on top of the hill, recalling all of our personal oil spills. And if we gave ourselves a second chance, could we then find some room to dance? I tend to think so. Living could be oh so nice that I thought I'd do things twice. Keep us laughing all the time. We could all lose our minds. Our ambitions, they get so high. Our decisions can imprison our lives. Till the life that I'm living's not mine, but I'm asked to live my life. excuse, an excuse for your kind gesture. Undo my attempts at starting a cold, cold war. And part of the things I never told you before, your prayers were answered. It's so hard to figure out who you are. A billion years shining bright like stars. Well, you might think that you're somebody else, but you can't tell, so you're probably crying beneath your own skin. Living could be oh so nice. Da-da-da-do-do, think twice. Keep us laughing all the time. We can all lose our minds. Our ambitions, they get so high. Our decisions can imprison our lives. Till the life that I'm living's not mine, but I'm asked to live my life.
Thanks a lot. Guys. Do you want one more, or do you want to talk? One more? Sure. 3 more? I like you. Where were you? All right.
You want to do this time? Yeah. Slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to slow it down a little bit for you here. This is off of our first album, which you can find online. You can find all of our music online for free, but we'll talk about that later.
It's important to know that no matter what kind of music you get tagged into your genre, you need to be able to be versatile. This song is, it's like a little bit slower, and you want to cater to all sorts of audiences. So when you need the slow dance, this is when that happens. So if there are any lovers in the house,
hold somebody.
Leaves on the trees are starting to fall. Let's take a walk, let's get outside, let's go before the day grows cold. And we could do nothing, or we could do something. Doesn't matter to me, 'cause I like your company. Let's go before the day grows cold. So if you're in my town and you'd like to take a look around, why don't you give me a ring, girl? We could do everything there is to do in this town. Side by side is the way I like best. Don't worry, baby, this isn't a test. Just know the world is one big show, and we could do nothing, or we could do something. Doesn't matter to me, 'cause I like your company. Let's go before the day grows cold. look around. Why don't you give me a ring, girl? We could do everything there is to do in this town.
Thanks. Still going?
Yeah, we don't know protocol here,
Yeah.
really, so we can
I'm
keep
just waiting
playing.
for Lori.
All right.
I don't know where she is.
We'll play another song. The front row wants another song.
All right. She's out in the hall right now. All right, we're gonna do one more while we're waiting. Cause why not? Oh wait, here she comes. Wait, maybe. Everybody be quiet. Pretend you're asleep.
No, just go.
When you pushed me too far, I got back into my car. Man, I hit the road. And I grabbed all my tools, cause I guess I broke the rules. Now I think I'm on my own. You better get back. Get on home. A lot of people question, man, they always hold their judgments. No, the kid never listen. No, the kid never listen. There we go. You're all skeleton. Whoa, you're a skeleton. So we went to the east to spread love and peace, but we only made war. And if you throw a bigger rock, well then I'll throw a bigger rock until that's gone. You better watch yourself and run along. A lot of people question, man, they always give their judgments. No, the kid never listen. Kid never listen. There you go. You're all skeleton. Whoa, you're all skeleton. And we thought that love could tower over hatred. And if we spread love, then we could make it. Benevolent kings could never commit treason. If they love their children, there would be no reason. Oh! You're all skeletons. Whoa, you're all skeletons.
I grew up in lounges as a child. I never left. I grew up out in Wayzata, yonder. I was a classical musician for a long time. I played the viola. I studied opera in school. Yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
My name is Quincy Voris. I grew up in Eagle River, Alaska. I've always kind of had a, really? No way. Okay. So I've always had a passion for music. I did choir and whatnot, but I've always been doing sports. And so when I got to Luther, I was kind of torn between music and wrestling. And Music won. I roomed with Seth over here our sophomore year, and it's kind of been history from there. We've been writing ever since. So.
My name is Seth Dewin. I'm from Hastings, Minnesota. And I started playing guitar around the 4th grade, taking some lessons from my mom, and then I played viola for a while as well. So kind of classically done that thing as well. And then at Luther, I studied guitar for about 7 years with one teacher named Jeff Christensen. He tunes a lot of pianos in the Midwest, if you know that name. But yeah, and if you know your piano tuners. But yeah, and then at Luther I did the same thing as Kai. I sang in all the choirs, and I studied composition there.
Well, I'm Kevin Kokenauer, and I grew up in Wayzata as well with Eric and Kai. And I've kind of been self-taught. I've learned and grown as a musician in bands. I actually just picked up bass because a couple of my friends who were in a garage band needed a bassist. And the passion kind of just grew from there. And I've been doing it ever since. And I'm on my 3rd school right now. I go to the University of Minnesota. And basically the only reason I've been going to any of the schools is because that's where my current band is at the moment. It's been a pretty bad habit, but I think we're here to stay at the U. But yeah, that's me as a musician. What are you studying now? I'm a communications major, which is relevant for the music field, just as far as like PR and that sort of thing goes. So I'm like thinking about that in my head, but also I'm a new media studies, which is like social networking and that sort of thing, which is also very relevant, and then a music minor as well. So a number of things.
I'm Eric. I grew up in Plymouth. Went to high school with these two guys, and then I went down to Luther and I studied art there. And yeah, I've been doing percussion and band and symphony since 5th grade. So I've been doing that for a while. And what? Oh yeah, and I played in a metal band in high school. So it's much different now.
And you wanna take band history?
So going into my sophomore year, I was wrestling and whatnot, but I was rooming with Seth, and he was teaching me guitar, and in our dorm room we would practice and do Tenacious D covers. That's how our group started. That's why our band has such a goofy name, is because we wanted to be a joke band. We wanted to cover Tenacious D and Flight of the Conchords and whatnot, so we entered a open mic contest and won it, and then we kept getting asked to do our same gag over and over again, and eventually we got tired of it. So we added Eric to play drums with us and branched out to different Doors covers. We added Kai a semester later. He was originally playing bass, but he started playing keyboard tracks on our album, so we wanted to bring that out. And we found this guy, and he was willing to jump to Luther for a semester and play with us.
One semester.
And so we've been going on about 3 years now, and we're all living in a band house in St. Paul, and we all have our side jobs, and we'd like to think that this is our real job. We're musicians now, and we wanna make it that way.
Sure. Sydney's? Yeah. This is a song off of our 2nd album. It's about loss, but it's really about Seth's dog. Figure that one out.
'Cause I'm getting used to it. The sun rises, the dew, it sits on the leaves, becoming used to it. The sky's not as big as it used to be, and I get so tired, so tired of living bound by those rules. I get so tired. Directions no longer tell me what to do or where to move on. Blow through from week to week. Quickly we all rush just to repeat our blues, living from week to week. Leaves me no time to understand you. If I could just breathe and take in the air that drifts all around us. If I could just breathe and possess my mind to find a direction to where we belong. So get on my level. That's boys and trouble. Best to get back to yourself. Those days are gone. So get on my level. That's boys and trouble. Best to get back to yourself. Those days are gone.
Thank you.
Yo.
Your hand went up first.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Honestly, both my parents went there, but I hadn't even they never forced it upon me or anything. I'd considered Augsburg and McNally Smith, and like Gustavus was another one, but I liked the music program there, and it felt right. It's also a beautiful town.
For myself, the bishop of my church was an alumni there, and he had caught word that I wasn't thinking of going to college. I was thinking about sticking back in Alaska, maybe working construction or fishing jobs or whatnot, and he paid my ticket to fly down to Luther in Minnesota in the Midwest and tour Lutheran colleges, with Luther in particular, so St. Olaf, Wartburg, St. John's. Luther, the shoe fit. I could wrestle and sing there, so it worked out.
I actually kind of stumbled upon Luther by accident. I thought I was going to be an actor in high school, and that was something that really interested me. So I applied to 13 acting schools and 2 music schools. And then I ended up in my method of discernment was doing as much of both as I could, and whichever I got sick of first, that's the one I wouldn't do, which is really stupid. Don't ever do that to yourself. So I ended up choosing music, and it was one of 2 schools, Luther and St. Olaf, that I applied to for music. And so I went there, and it was like a really terrible day, like weather-wise, and it was still my favorite school. So I was like, well, that's cool. Let's do that.
I really wanted to go someplace that I could keep doing music as well and find musicians there and do chemistry, which is not what I ended up doing at all. But yeah, and Luther just felt good.
I was just following these guys around, so.
It wasn't a very conscious decision.
Yeah, there's one over there.
This was a wonderful Christmas present for my parents. Love them very much. Miss them. And then, initially it was Jack Black and a lot of jokes and doing the gimmicks.
The man has a great voice.
But my writing influences and musical influences largely come from a group in Alaska that I followed as young as I can remember called Portugal the Man. Yeah. And then, everybody in this band has a big love of Jack White and Led Zeppelin. So there's a lot of Robert Plant that we try to pick up on. As best we can.
Where are you?
We were kicking it, and we were doing Tenacious D covers, and we're like, well, if we're gonna enroll in the open mic contest, we gotta have a name. And so all right, let's think of some things that are really cool. And at the time, Quincy, it's Movember, we got this sweet mustache going on. But at the time, he had been commercial fishing in Alaska all summer long. So he comes back to school, and he's got this beefy beard, right? And we're like, well, let's do some sweet stuff. And he shaved it into what was General Ambrose Burnside from the Civil War. Was he a Confederate? Or?
He was the Union.
All right, he was a Union general. And he had chops connecting to the mustache. And so we were like, all right, General Burnside. We could be the General Burnsides. And no, that's lame. What else is awesome? Well, wizards are pretty cool. So we were initially General Burnside and the Wizard Alliance. That needed to be shortened. So it got shortened to General B and the Wiz. But thanks for asking, because a lot of people can't take it seriously when they're like, this is General Captain B and the Wiz, or...
Now that you've explained it, I don't think they take it seriously anyway.
Understandably so.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, right here. It's been so...
We've never actually done one together.
Yeah.
Not in this lineup.
I haven't played a single Tenacious D song in like 2 years.
Yeah.
I think my first show as the bass player was the last time we played a Tenacious D song. Yeah. But we'll prepare
Maybe
one
next
for
time.
you next time. Have us back. We'll be Tenacious D for you.
Yeah.
Yonder? Right there? Yep. Do we still play viola?
He knows more than I do.
Yeah, we have a completely separate acoustic show where we reinterpret a lot of our songs, and depending on the circumstances, I'll play either violin, viola, or cello. Yeah, you play the violin? You shut your mouth. Awesome. Anything else? We're good? I wish I brought mine.
Sounds solid.
Sad Lemons now? So this song is very new. It's not out. There's one recording of it.
Doesn't even have a title.
Yep. We just call it the fast song, and we just kind of for a glimpse into our artistic process. This is, I don't know. Very early stages. So remember this, and then listen to our next album. This is all just a plot for me to get you to get our next album, by the way. That's not true. And then just, you can piece together growth or things like that.
Yeah, it's important to know how much songs can really change, and we have songs from our first album that are probably 100% different than they were when we recorded them. When we play them live now, not 100%. But so it's kind of an example to show how we like to play songs that we like to keep ourselves engaged as well. So when we play fresh material, it's really fun for us, and we hope that gets thrown into the audience as well. But yeah, so this song is subject to change, but this is where it's at the moment.
It's tentatively called Fast Song because it's fast.
Well, a day or two ago in the middle of the road, I fell on my face and I broke my nose. So when I looked all around, girl, you had the higher ground and said, boy, you're the one I've been looking for. But there ain't no love in here. Better get going before I gotta make it clear that you're the man, you're the scab, you left a bullet-shaped hole in my heart. If you think that you get where I'm coming from, you think you pin me down, well, I think you gotta go. And if the answers to my questions only keep me second guessing, well, I guess I learned my lesson that there's no sense in running from you. Left me there all alone in the square with the sense that I gotta get out of here. So I packed on my bags and I headed down the tracks, all in an effort to make things clear that I won't shed a single tear. Won't get satisfaction after all these years that you strung me along through a deep dark hole in my heart. You think that you get where I'm coming from, you think you pin me down, well, I think you gotta go. If the answers to your questions only keep me second guessing, well, I guess I learned my lesson that there's no sense in running from you. Too much to drink that There ain't no love in here. You better get going before I gotta make these. Cause it's just a man with a step left a bullet-shaped hole in my heart. If you think that you get where I'm coming from, you think you pin me down, well, I think you gotta go. If the answers to your questions only keep you second guessing, well, I guess I learned my lesson that there's no sense in running from. If you think that you get where I'm coming from, you think you pin me down, well, I think you gotta go. If the answers to your questions only keep you second guessing, well, there ain't no running from you.
Song in progress. Yeah. Any other questions? Well, thanks, man.
You can find all our music on generalbandthewiz.com or follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and you'll get updates on further shows and our calendar.
Yeah, we've got we sell physical copies at our live shows, but and from we have like an online store where we'll mail you a copy if you want. But we've found that when you put it up for pay what you want downloads, I'm sure a lot of you musicians in the audience are familiar with that. You know, it's like if you put it up for pay what you want, people actually will buy it sometimes, and they'll download it no matter what. Yeah.
That's a great question. We do merch all out of our house. And then as for recording, we've done it in different locations. Our first album was recorded in the basement of Seth's parents' house. We recorded our second album at a cabin outside of Hibbing. And then we,
Yeah, this next one we're thinking of being a little more professional and maybe going to a studio.
They were professional. I don't know.
Like they're I mean, and it's the difference if you want with producing it yourselves and recording it yourselves, you can be as creative as you want and you can take as much time as you want. And we're kind of interested in seeing like what it's going to be like to have that studio experience. That's not just us kind of lounging around and, all right, you want to go record? Yeah, let's go record, So.
If you have any recommendations, let us know.
We actually had Rob Schletty master both of our records. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right, and so actually for this third album, like instead of going in with material that kind of needs a little more tightening as we're like producing it and recording it, we wanna make sure that we have all of our ducks in a row. We wanna make sure everything's tight. And so instead of a full-length album, we're thinking we might possibly do an EP, but this is all in the next couple months that we're figuring this out. So.
Yeah, and even though we're thinking about doing it in a studio, it doesn't mean that we're not planning on trying to remove ourselves a little bit from our normal surroundings, because I don't know, there are different like theories on that, but for us it's really helped to kind of remove ourselves from what we're used to and just go to a place where you can focus entirely on what you're doing, the task at hand. So that's definitely in the works as well.
Last question. Yeah.
Today's the 9th. Our next show in the cities, we're playing, like she said before, we like to, on a weekend, go do 2 shows in different places surrounding the cities, or in the surrounding states. But our next show is at the Kitty Cat Club on November 29th. It's a Thursday night.
Bring them. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be on way later.
We could use backup too. Really? Yeah. That would be awesome.
All right.
Yeah, it's another band CD release party, so you'll see some other sweet music that night too. Pine Box Preachers and Sherbetty.
Ooh. Yeah. Do you want to? You can do what you want.
There's kind of 2 different ways that it happens for us. Two different ways. Basically, one of us will come in with a riff, and we all kind of develop the song together. And then Quincy, for his like lyrics and melody, that sort of thing, he'll take what we have written as a band, as far as the song, instrumentally goes, and he'll put a melody to it, and then kind of put words to that as according to the feel of the song. It's never really happened where Quincy's wrote lyrics first, or written lyrics first, and then we write a song to that. But the other way it happens, which I'm sure everybody in here has experienced if you've written music with other people, is that sometimes you're just like jamming at band practice and a song will just fall out, and that's obviously a rare case, but that's the song. Those are the songs that seem to like feel the best, is when you don't have to force it. So those are the kind of the 2 different ways. But most of the time it's somebody coming in with one specific riff and then building from there together. So it's a very unified process.
And this.
This next song was a song that kind of fell into my lap. I didn't make it into Luther's choir, and so I got really sad and locked myself in a room and played a little blues, and this is kind of how it is.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much for having us. This is fun.
Come talk to us if you have time. We'd love to meet you.
Yeah.
I don't want to make you late for class, though. This is an academic establishment.
The song's called Sad Lemon Juice. It's a sing-along if you will catch on.
lemons, and sometimes those lemons go bad. So what you gonna do with that sad lemon juice? Oh, how did your life get like so? 'Cause nobody wants to be confident, but somebody's going to lose. The only thing to do when you're too confident is grow up and sing the blues. Some days life takes you to the races. Some days it's the world versus you. When your fastest pace is still second place, so what is a poor boy to do? 'Cause nobody wants to be confident, but somebody's going to lose. The only thing to do when you're too confident is grow up and sing the blues. Woo! Thank you.
Thank you, guys.